Okay, hello friends. So in this video we're gonna talk about the next 20 essentials to rigging with Kasper Larsen and Manuel. I'm Kasper Larsen, I'm gonna be the instructor. So I've done a couple of these videos before, and we did 20 essentials in the volume 1 where we talked a lot about the basic setups of a character. And I was actually really surprised and happy to see that a lot of people actually decided to download it. And it's been cool to see and get feedback from people. So I decided to do another 20, and this is the volume 2. In this one we continue with doing the arms and setting up a neck and a head for the character. And I've heard a lot about people saying, like, it's a nice course, but the character looks pretty it's a pretty boring design. And I couldn't agree more. This tutorial is not about setting up a nice pretty character. It's understanding a nice pretty rig, understanding the hierarchy, understanding good controllers, good workflows, good naming conventions. It's not about so much about making a pretty character. I'm expecting you guys to see this series, and I'm expecting you to apply the theory onto your own characters as well as onto the supplied material, so the character itself that I'm giving here. So you are allowed to build your own character, of course. I mean, I really encourage people to always do that. I mean, you always get more attached to a project if you work on your own stuff. Plus, you can immediately use as portfolio pieces to show off, and you can use it in your own productions as well. So, I think it's okay that the character is not pretty. That's all right. In this series, I just want to focus on doing a proper rig for people who want to start expanding their knowledge in rigging, or start being aspiring riggers. Also, if you're like an animator, if you're a modeler who wants to expand around your fields, you can definitely gain a whole lot in these tutorials or videos. Because basically, I don't believe that anybody can be 100% in their own field. You can't be 100% rigger if you're not having a little bit of knowledge in animation and modeling. You can't be 100% modeler if you don't understand a little bit of texturing and understand a little bit of rigging, for instance. Because you have to know the surrounding fields of the field you want to be, excel in. Because how else can you know what you deliver, and how else do you know what to cater to? So it's very important to understand surrounding fields. So if you are just an aspiring rigger, then this will be perfect you as an introduction. Or if you're somebody who wants to catch up on the basics, get a fresh up, then this is also for you. But it's also for the animators and the modelers who want to expand on their knowledge. What I go through in this second series, or in the second volume, I'm going through the setup of the IK arm, and how I set up an IK hand, and then I set up the FK fingers, and I set it up with set-driven keys, and we touch a little bit about what set-driven keys are and how powerful they are. Then we do the corrective curve inside the curve editor of our set-driven keys. We shape controllers, talk about good shapes, talk about what's smart for us as riggers and what's smart for the animators to get. Then we talk about the next setup, just at FK heads, and then we do the eyes. Then I have a full lecture only on constraints. And basically last time I did the volume 1, we had a constraint lecture on parent constraints. In this case, it's going to be aim constraints, and we're going to apply that theory to our eye rig, so we can have aim on our eye rig. Basically, that means that our eyes are going to be constantly fixed in a certain direction. It also means that we can put that point down on the ground or on something, and then when the character is walking by something, the eyes will stay fixed on that point. On top of that, we build that on top of our FK, so we will still have the underlying FK. Then we set up strings between the elbows, and we talk a lot about adding shaders to our rig. All these basic things that most people actually avoid. Color controlling, all that stuff that most new people actually avoid. You can immediately always spot like a new rigger if they don't have colored their controls, or there's no shaders on their rig. Even though if it's just basic shaders, it does a lot for the animators, that they have something that they can visually relate to, and they can see something else but just a gray shaded model. Anyways, that's what the course is going to be about, and I really look forward to see how you guys are going to get on with this. As I wanted to say, it's for everybody who wants to learn a little bit more about rigging and the basic foundation of rigging. On the last note, we clean up the character, and then I guarantee you, when you're done with this, and if you follow the full course, you're gonna have a final character that you can actually animate and walk around, and you can give to your friends or whatever. Also, I encourage people to, if you don't have a model lying around that you necessarily can use, then get it from somewhere else. Write people online that you think makes good stuff, and then ask them if you can use their model. It's very often that people, modelers are, so interested in seeing their characters come to life. So, I just encourage everybody to try and communicate a little bit more. You have nothing to lose if you write to somebody, hey, I want to rig your character. I mean, how many people would actually say no to that? So that's actually gonna be it for like these 20 videos. There's about 3 hours of lecture, so they're roughly about 9 minutes each on average. And I really hope to see you guys in the course, so let's speak soon.